Assalamu alaikum. I hope all of you can hear me. Let's wait 2 to 3 more minutes so that if anyone else wants to join, he may join us. All right, I guess let's start. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we're able to hear you.
Assalamu alaikum. I hope all of you are doing great in your lives. This is Aisha Arif, as I introduced myself in our previous sessions, and I guess there isn't anyone here that is attending the session with me for the first time. Well, nice to meet you. Nice to talk to you all. Let's start today's session. Today, our topic of discussion is environmental sustainability and product sustainability management. And today's agenda would be what is sustainability, pillars of sustainability, product sustainability, need for product sustainability management, common elements of the management system with respect to sustainable product development, dominant models on product sustainability, and challenges and advantages of product sustainability. Okay. As we have been discussing repeatedly, that sustainability is a key concept, a way of life, especially nowadays when we have started experiencing drastic impacts of our negligence and ignorance, like climate change. But the experts have been warning us since decades. Like in 1987, United Nations Bertland Commission defined sustainability as what? Meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. Today, there are almost 140 developing countries in the world seeking ways of meeting their development needs. Okay, and United Nations have provided us with these 17 goals that you can see on your screen, and these are the goals that is given by the United Nations, and they are known as Sustainable Development Goals, and they are to be met by 2030. Uh, Now, the word sustainability, the concept of sustainability, as already discussed, they have three pillars: economic, environmental, and social. And they are also called as, the economic pillar is also called as profit, because it focuses on conserving the natural resources that provide physical inputs for economic production, including both renewable and exhaustible inputs. Like economic aspect of the sustainability includes all those material, all those natural resources that is giving us economic production or profits. The environmental aspect or environmental pillar of the sustainability emphasized
Miss
on the
Aisha,
life.
would you please run the slideshow so that we can see the screen more bigger? Now we are
Okay,
seeing this clutter on the
okay.
screen.
Can you
Thank
see
you.
it now clear? Is it clear now?
No, no, you if you run the slideshow, this
I
what do you, PowerPoint thing will be gone and
Yes.
we will be seeing only screen.
Okay. How I have run the slideshow. Can you see it clearly now?
No, it's not visible to us. Maybe stop sharing the screen and share again.
Okay, let me try it. Is it visible now?
Only screen is visible. It's in PowerPoint. If you run the slideshow, yes, click this button and this will be good, I think.
I am running the slideshow on the PowerPoint actually. Is it
Yeah,
not
but
visible?
it's not showing here. It's the same. Anyways, if it
Mm,
is what it is. Let's go then.
let me try something else. View.
Yes.
Is it better
Yes.
now?
Oh, yes.
All right. Okay. Let's continue. Okay. The second pillar is environmental pillar, and it emphasizes on the life support system such as atmosphere or soil that must be maintained for economic production and human life to exist. It is also called as planet. And the third one is social pillar that focuses on the human effects of the economic system, and the category include attempts to eradicate poverty and hunger and as well to combat inequality. The thing is, the United Nations World Commission on Environment and Development, that is UNED, it studied the connection between all these pillars, that is ecological health, economic development, and societal equity. And now the sustainable development incorporates all three pillars, as I showed in the previous slides, that all of these 17 goals consist of all these three pillars. Now, I have added an ISO family chart that I obtained from the link that I have mentioned below. It is actually the history of international standard for organization, international organization for standardization. As you know, that it is important to discuss ISO family because we are learning about the sustainability. Now, ISO was created in 1947, and then in 1987 ISO 901 on 9001 on quality management system was developed. And then in 1995 on information technology, ISO 27001 was developed. And then in 1996 ISO 14001 on environmental management system was developed. And then on social responsibility, ISO 26000 was developed. Next was ISO 50001 on energy management was developed. And then ISO 37001 on anti-bribery management was developed. And then in 2018, ISO 4500 on health and safety was developed. Just for information, that slide was. Next, now coming towards our topic, product sustainability. Product sustainability actually looks on how the products can provide economic benefits to the companies, while at the same time they provide environmental and social benefit to the society as well. As you can see from the definition, that product sustainability, just like environmental sustainability or the concept of sustainability, include three aspects: business perspective, that is the companies that serves to keep the companies competitive in times of changing the consumer and public demand. right? The environment perspective, that helps the companies to reduce or prevent the product related risk, or it helps to differentiate the products from those from their competitors. Either their product are more environmentally benign as compared to their competitors. And the societal perspective, product sustainability contribute to the sustainable development by reducing the ecological footprint or by improving the social conditions, like corporate social responsibility that we have discussed in our previous section. Now, sustainable production and consumption. It is goal number 12 in United Nations Sustainable Development Goal, and it has been on global political agenda since first Earth Summit, that was in 1992. And then it became obviously the part of the SDGs of United Nations, that was in 2015. And the agenda is what that by 2030 all these sustainable development goals are to be met. And the goal number 12 actually says what it ensures the sustainable consumption and production pattern. As you can see that it is related to the our today's topic, that is sustainable production or sustainable product management. Now, why do we need the sustainable project management? What is the reason that we need a sustainable product management? As I already discussed, that we are facing the problems like climate change, like global warming. These are the actually the reason that the world is now moving towards the sustainability, the concept of sustainability. Otherwise, we were quite. Now, according to an estimation by Humanity Global Footprint by WWF, that is in 2016, they carried out this estimation, and that they said that we are using the resources of more than 1.5 planets. Actually, our single planet Earth, but at the speed we are using these resources, it seems that we are actually using the resources of 1.5 planets. Furthermore, there are inequalities between regions and their footprints due to uh, resource availability, like extraction power, which country have the extraction power to extract their ores or which country do not have. Or they say we have this offshore concept like China is doing, they're using the land of other nations to produce services for their own country. And then we have, according to UN Millennium Ecosystem Assessment in 2005, that's 60% of our collective ecosystem services have been degraded over the last 50 years. Okay. And according to another estimate that was more recent than the UN Millennium Ecosystem Assessment, that we have already passed 4 out of the 9 crucial planetary boundaries, that is biodiversity, nitrogen, phosphorus cycle, land use change, and climate change, which actually allowed us to live a sustained and safe life. But we have already passed 4 out of 9, meaning that we have already passed the crucial limit of our planet to regenerate these sources. That is the reason that we are uh, moving, or I should say that we are running toward the sustainable product management. Now, for product sustainability, obviously there comes a concept of corporate sustainability, that is business sustainability. As you are aware that today all of the businesses have started campaigning like, "Well, our product is more environmental sustainable, our product is more eco-friendly." Like for example, we have those businesses that have developed bags for packaging, that if you throw it in the soil they will grow a plant, etc. But if we look at the concept of business sustainability today, theoretically and in practice, it appears that the current concepts are strongly aligned with economic advantages for business, but and much less with the solution for the sustainability challenges that we are facing. Uh, Here comes a concept of okay. Um, have you heard of the concept called greenwashing?
Its name suggests like it is something that does not use any detergent or something like that without you do washing without harming the environment or what?
No, actually, it's a concept, it's a deceptive concept that when a company makes an environmental claim about something that organization is doing, that includes that they're promoting actually that our product is environmentally stable or our product is giving environmental benefit, but in reality, it is actually not. It is called greenwashing. It's a term that is derived from the whitewashing. We use it as a slang that they whitewashed him, they whitewashed this team, etc.
Get it?
Get it? Okay. This is a concept actually today's businesses seem like doing. That is, they claim that their product is environmentally safe, but in reality, it is not. It's just for their advantage, for their profit. They are claiming that. So, that is okay. Now, a business manager obviously prefers seeing an upward climbing line that they need an increase in their profit. However, in contrast, the environmentalists prefer a different outcome. So, a concept of upcycle was presented in 2013. There's a book of the same title, and they suggest that what if we combine these two approaches, that we combine the business manager's approach as well, that they need to optimize their sale, they need to get more and more profit, and we also um, incorporate the what environmentalists prefer, that minimizing the um harms that the organization is putting into their product making. The concept is upcycle, and that was developed in 2013. Okay. Now, how a corporate would reach a sustainable project management. A regular PDCA cycle, you must be aware of all that is plan, do, check, and act. It also complies in many companies, but how about a more detailed analysis that what the company is doing and how it would do and what would be the consequences? These are the common elements of the management system. Number one, policy, which is actually a formal and written statement of the top management of the organization about the company's commitment to pay attention and consider aspect of specific areas depending on the main objectives of the management system. What the policy actually is, that the company who is interested in developing green products or sustainable product and do sustainable product management, it must form first a policy. Policy is what? A written statement. Uh, Policies must be consistent throughout the organization because it provides a framework for establishing objectives for management systems. The ISO that I have already mentioned, that these sustainable management principles given to us by ISO, the organization, also claims that a policy, giving a policy by organization is important. For example, the quality management system has a clause 5.3 that is related to the quality policy, and the EMS, that is environment management system, it has also 4.2 that emphasize on making the policy related to the environment management system. The second step is responsibility. The organization needs to uh, uh, put forward that what is the responsibility of what sector uh, in the corporation, like duties, like authority of every person in charge, that you are responsible for this task and you are responsible for this task. Clear communication of the responsibility is very important, because confusion about the responsibilities and authorities can have impact on the quality of the goods and services. Now, for example, ISO 9001 has a clause 5.5 that emphasizes on the responsibility, authority, and communication. We have also a clause regarding responsibility, authority in our EMS as well. That is clause number 4.4.1, and we in 5001 clause 4.2, management responsibility. Next step is monitoring, measuring, and analyze. This step actually ensures that all the processes are carried out under the controlled specification and closely follow the required regulation. Monitoring actually is a stage where environmental, economic, and societal aspect are compared with the output of the product, that either all these things were incorporated by designing the product or the service. And then comes documentation, which provides a written guide on how organization should operate. For example, in ISO 901 clause 4.2.1 says that it is required by the organization to have documentation about the quality management system, or it in some organization it is called quality menu. Same is the case with 14001, that organizations are required to have documentation about the environment management system. Now, the documentation could be in a form of checklist, like SOPs, that are standard operating procedures, flow chart, manuals, anything. It could be in the form of anything, but it is essential to have documentation of all the processes that the organization is carrying out. Then comes internal audit. Internal audit is what? Evaluation of system or processes or the product of an organization. Internal audit is carried out by competent, objective, impartial, independent organization personnel, who we called as auditor. And the goal of internal auditing is to verify that operations of the organization comply with the adopted management system. What was in the policy? What was the policy of the organization? Either they are carrying out, following that policy or not. It actually identify the criteria. It identify the also identify the best solution for the improvement opportunities, that what are the faults in the system and how they can be improved. And lastly comes management review, that after the internal audit, the management would sit and decide if what were the flaws in their systems, and what were the benefits of carrying out the processes that they derived. Management review is the activity that is carried out periodically to evaluate the management system, and the purpose is to assess the effectiveness of the system and to ensure continuous improvement. Before I go into deeper detail, let me backtrack the slide. Mm, okay. There's a concept in this slide, as you can see, that why do we need a sustainable product management? Just to give you some rest or give an interesting assignment, I wanted to give you an interesting assignment. There's a concept called Earth's Overshoot Day. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, where the Earth uses its resources for that particular year. So I think last year the Earth Overshoot Day was 22nd of August, I suppose.
Good. I would like all of you to take 10 minutes and search that what is the basic trend, that what it was in the initial phases when we started measuring the Earth shoot day, for example, in 1970s and 80s, and what is the trend right now, like in 20s, in after 2015, and is there a pattern there or not? Please take 10 minutes and Google the trend, if you may. All right. What did you find? Is there a trend?
Well, in short, the Earth Overshoot Day is coming sooner and sooner each day. That's what is happening. For example, in 1970, it was December the 30th, and last year it was 22nd of August. Even though it went a little up during the COVID, but still, it's coming sooner and sooner.
Exactly. Uh, in 1970s, it was December. In 80s, it was November. In 1990s, it became October, and in 2000, it became like August. Even during COVID, yeah, it got a little back in the date become July a month. July. It was July in 2019, which was actually the soonest. Uh, among all of the earth's shoot day. So basically what it is, that with the passage of time, with the more and more development, with the more and more usage of resources, our earth is not able to regenerate its sources. This is actually the overshoot day, that the uh, which is actually that humanity's demand for the ecosystem services exceeds the Earth's ability to regenerate. And as you said, that it's coming sooner and sooner, and soon it would be like the Earth already has reached its capacity, so it would be very disastrous. So it is important, essential for us to mitigate some of the impacts, because all of the impacts, obviously the whole process it took, I mean, like since industrialization, it took about 100 and more years to destroy this whole process. Obviously it's not gonna get better in a day or in a year or even in a decade, but at least we can try to mitigate it. We have to. Now, coming back towards the topic, we were discussing that how the corporations would reach a sustainable product and how would they manage their sustainability in product. We discuss these steps. First, policy making, then responsibility, defining the responsibility of each and every sector in the managements, in their corporate or their organization, and then monitoring, and measuring, and then analyzing the stage where the environment, economic, and social components are paired with the output of the products, and then we did some documentation. It is important because it provides actually a written guideline on how our organization should operate. It could be in a form of checklists, SOPs, flowchart, and then there is internal audit. Internal audit actually is what evaluation of the system or process or the products of the organization, and the audit actually identify the criteria, identify the flaws of the system, and then hence identification of the best solution for the improvement of the operations become clear. And lastly, the management periodically reviews their system, their processes, their flaws, their uh, products, benefits, all of that. Now, um, let's discuss the dominant model, the most dominant models of the product sustainability that the organization or corporations are carrying out in the development of their products. And these two approaches that I'm going to discuss here today is most research one, or the even the researchers have put more emphasis on these two. Although more and more models are keep coming forward, but these two are the most prominent nowadays. Now, first is eco design. The product sustainable model in practice centers around the idea of a green product, obviously. That is optimization of the product's eco efficiency over the whole product life cycle by the use of eco design. This is the main concept that the product whole life should be uh, eco efficient, that from its since its production to its death or destruction. Eco design has been integrated into different ISO standards like ISO 14040, that is environment management that involves life cycle assessment. We have also in ISO 14006, that is also environment management system. It is related to the product environment aspects, products, the environmental aspects of the product, that involves the organization control over the activities that either they are doing eco efficient processes or not. And then we have ISO 1401, that is obviously EMS, and it is referred in all these certification or standards as cradle to grave product life cycle perspective, that is from birth to death. According to ISO 1440, all goods and services have impact on the environment, which can occur at any or all life cycle phases. While impacts can be manifold, slight, significant, short term, long term, could occur at local level, at regional level, or at global level, but all of the stages that product was made, was product was used, product was destroyed, all of these stages have impact on the environment. This is actually life cycle cradle to grave product life cycle perspectives, that is raw material. It include raw material extraction, that what type of raw material was extracted for the product, how it was extracted, what type of resources were used to extract the product. Then how was the product designed, what involves in the designing of the product, how much human resource, how much technical resource, everything. And then what was the procedures, production procedures, how much fuel it took to for the product to be made into its final form, how much electricity was used, what type of machinery was used, how much human resource was used. The next stage, transportation. How was the product transported? Was it transported to another country? Was it made for the local people? Was it made for international usage? Usage, obviously, what sort of end use the product had, what type of people were using it, what was the usage. And next is end of life treatment, that at the end, when the product has reached its limit, what it has impact on the environment. Actually, the concept cradle to grave encompasses the entire life cycle. As I already said, a product is considered green or sustainable when the total environment burden is lower than that of the competitive product or the past product. It allows the companies to demonstrate that environment performances of their services is what type of environment performance their services is providing. Are their processes eco efficient? Are they not? And keep that in mind, that comparison is a must. As I said previously, that a product is considered green or sustainable when total environment burden is lower than that of the competitive product or the past product. Why? Because it is impossible to have zero ecological footprint or zero environmental impact. Everything, anything we do has an impact on the environment. So we are actually, what we are actually doing here is we are actually measuring the relativity, that uh, either the new product is better in terms of ecological services or ecological footprint as compared to its precedent, or it is as compared to the competitor companies. The next major aspect is cradle to cradle. Cradle to cradle actually is, as I already mentioned, the LCA, that life cycle assessment, cradle to grave concept, was a linear process, right? That from its production to the end life of the treatment. But the cradle to cradle concept actually involves reusement and remanufacturing of the product as well. That is, it aims to reduce the negative environmental impact by closing the product loop. It is creating actually a whole loop. The recycle, the circular economy it is related to. That products are reused and remanufactured at the end of their lives. Now, this concept has two parts. One is biological cycle and the other is technical cycle. Now, biological cycle is natural, for example, nutrient flow and cycle, just like the process of metabolism or the food chain, that the waste of one species is the food for the other. This is the whole concept that this biological cycle or biological perspective is showing. For example, in case of paper, wood, anything that can be recycled should be produced, and anything that is being produced should be produced in a way that it can be naturally degraded, or it can be reused. It involves obviously production, product, what type of use it had, was it biodegradable or not, then what type of biological nutrients after its degradation it is creating, and then plants. Like for example, let's take an example of the paper or wood. Paper is made up of wood, right? So after the production of paper, we use a product, it was manufactured, it was transported, and then we use, then paper is able to biologically degrade, obviously, because it is made of cellulose. The cellulose create what type of biological nutrient? Cellulose has carbon in it, cellulose has nitrogen in it. Sometimes some raw material must have, like if there is a wood, it might have sulfur in it. These carbon, nitrogen, sulfur would give this carbon, nitrogen, sulfur to the soil, and which would be used as a fertilizer or in manufacturing of the fertilizer by the soil bacteria, and it would be used by the plants, and the plants would in return create another tree, and this tree would in return again used for the production of paper, for the production of wood material, etc. The second perspective involved here is technical perspective. Now, technical perspective here involves the products that are made in a way that can make the uh, disassembly, or they can be or the reuse possible without harm to the environment. It again involves production state, the how the product was made, and then the product was made, then it was transported and then used and then returned, and then it was disassembled, and then those disassembled parts were then again incorporated or used for creating another product or maybe the similar product. Though this technical cycle or this technical concept is now highly researched, uh, and as you in researches we can see that various methods of recycling many products. For example, I have read paper on the batteries that are laptop batteries, are mobile phone batteries, and extracting the cathode and anode material that consist of metals like lithium, like cobalt, graphite, copper, aluminum. These things are recycled in various environmental or eco-efficient way. For example, I have read papers like using waste of fruits like lemon. For example, there's a paper that is using lemon peel extract for the recycling of metals from the waste mobile phone batteries. Why? Because lemon has acids, and these acids can be used to leach out the metals in various forms, and these metals can be reused for various purposes, even in remaking of the batteries. So this is the most research area nowadays. We have in China, there are reusing facilities as well. They use scrap material and they extract the metals from those parts, and then they're using metals for various purposes. These two were the dominant approaches that are being researched and applied by various standardization and United Nations systems. Now, benefits of the product sustainability. What could be the benefits? Why do we need? We have discussed that why product sustainability is essential. So the benefit we are obtaining from include obviously all those three pillars or main perspective that we have already discussed. First is environment benefit, obviously reduced waste and reduced pollution. Social benefit, obviously after getting environmental benefit, we would get more and more resources. The earth would be able to regenerate resources at a timely manner, so human needs would be fulfilled. Then we have economic or financial benefit as well, obviously, because utilizing resources sustainably can improve the long-term viability of a business concern. It could save money, obviously, like efficient lighting system or you all know that renewable energy resources. Yeah, for example, let's take an example of renewable energy resources like sunlight, solar cells. Right? If a company is using solar cells, obviously it is cutting cost on the energy systems, so it would get financial benefit. Again, sustainability can also make company more attractive to investors. Today, it's very trendy, the concept of sustainability. So the company who is acting on the sustainable principles would obviously get more and more investors. And also it would increase the innovation by obviously if a company is thinking about producing more and more sustainable product, they need to research, they need to use resources. So obviously that would create innovation ideas, and it would also create more and more jobs for the people. Now, despite the benefits, we have challenges for the product sustainability as well. The major challenges include cost. Obviously, as I said, that sustainability needs researching and innovation, and obviously the research, the development, the innovation requires investment, so it's very costly to produce the sustainable products. Or plus they would have to, if they have thought of a way to create a product, obviously they would need new machineries, new system. That is why in Pakistan, the industries are not creating sustainable products because they are afraid to put on the line. The next is regulatory requirements that the companies must adhere to federal, state, or local laws and regulation, obviously, if they are to produce sustainable products. So organizations have to keep up with the ever-changing regulation and make sure their products are compliant. And for that, obviously, they need to hire more and more lawyers and managers and sustainable managers. They need to train their people. They need to train their employees. So it's a hassle as well. And the thirdly, consumer expectations. Now, consumers are becoming increasingly aware, as you know, that because of the social media. So they if you see nowadays, in our mother's age, they used to just buy their cosmetics without looking at the ingredients, right? Nowadays we look at the ingredients, each and every ingredient of our cosmetics product, that either they are harmful for our skin or either they are harmful for the environment. So consumers are becoming aware. So a sustainable product manager or a product maker or industry or a corporate need to fulfill the expectation of the consumers with time. So they need to conduct surveys, they need to hire more and more scientists, they need to research, do latest research. So it's a quite as well. Uh, that was the topic. Now, let's come to the topic of discussion. What do you think is the relation between circular economy and product sustainability? Hamza Khalid, can you tell me what is the relationship or any difference or any relation or anything? Circular economy versus sustainable product management.
Well, I'm I'm not an expert on this, but just by the word itself, I will just say what comes to my mind. I think you talked about when we were discussing the product sustainability. We talked about where a product there is a concept in sustainability of cradle to grave and cradle to cradle.
Mm-hmm.
So when we talked about cradle to cradle, it was not in a linear. The progression was not linear. It was a loop. So
Mm-hmm.
circular economy, I think, also works in a loop, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
So maybe that's the link between the two, where um, in the economy itself, in the circular economy, the model is that where the production which you the raw material you consume, with the production of the materials or repairing, reusing, or whatever it is, it somehow links with the reuse and the sustainability concept of the
Mm-hmm.
cradle to cradle.
Yeah,
That's what
exactly,
comes to
exactly.
my mind. I don't know whether it's correct or not.
No, you were right. You were right. You were right. To elaborate or give your opinion on circular economy and product sustainability, their relationship or their differences, anything.
Your voice broke. I don't know if you asked someone or you asked me, or I don't know.
Sir,
Anyways,
yes, sir. You can explain, sir. Please explain.
okay,
What is your opinion on that?
okay. I would like to talk to you guys in Urdu so that I can communicate very well and in a manner that everyone can understand it.
Yes, sir.
So
Anything is fine. Mhm.
yes,
जी
yes, I
सर
know.
जी, please please.
तो असल में ये सारी चीजें मिस आयशा, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल यू आर डूइंग वेरी गुड जॉब। लेकिन एक दो चीजें जो है ना, वो जो मेरी पर्सनल उसमें है, वो मैं चाहूंगा कि आपसे बयान कर दूं। अच्छा, सर्कुलर इकोनॉमी जो है ना, वो शुरू इस तरह से होती है कि आपने जो है ना वो ये असल में एक दफा बस शुरू होने की देर है। उसके बाद होगा ये कि मेरा वेस्ट जो है ना, वो आपका रॉ मटेरियल होगा और आपका जो वेस्ट है वो मेरा रॉ मटेरियल होगा। पाकिस्तान में बहुत कम लोग इस पे काम कर रहे हैं, लेकिन कर रहे हैं। मैं अभी रिसेंटली लाहौर बेस्ड एक कंपनी है, स्टाइल टेक्सटाइल के नाम से, अक्सर लोग शायद इससे वाकिफ हों, एंड दे आर डूइंग ट्रेमेंडस जॉब आउट देयर। वो लोग जो है वो इसको इस कदर जबरदस्त लेकर चल रहे हैं कि वो हर हर चीज को न सिर्फ डॉक्यूमेंट कर रहे हैं। इसी तरह एक और कंपनी है, वो कि मैं उन पर्सनली उनको नहीं जानता, लेकिन इंटरलूप के नाम से है, वो भी टेक्सटाइल है, वो भी पंजाब बेस्ड है, लाहौर फैसलाबाद वगैरह में उनके यूनिट्स हैं। तो वो इस चीज पर बहुत जबरदस्त किस्म का काम कर रहे हैं। फातिमा फर्टिलाइजर्स जो है, वो एक और कंपनी है जो इस पे काम कर रही है, और वो मतलब ये लोग बहुत सारा काम कर रहे हैं। सर्कुलर इकोनॉमी ये है कि आपका जो प्रोडक्ट है वो जो है ना, वो अपना क्रेडल से लेकर, जहां वो मतलब उसका रॉ मटेरियल प्रोड्यूस हो रहा है, वहां से लेकर अपनी प्रोडक्शन, डिजाइन, प्रोडक्शन, और उसके बाद जो है जब उसका एंड ऑफ लाइफ आए, फर्स्ट साइकिल आए, तो अब उसने वापस इसी प्रोडक्ट में जाना है या दूसरे में जाना है, ये उसने तय करना है, और उसके बाद वो दूसरे साइकिल में, दूसरी लाइफ में चली जाएगी। एप्पल के लिए अगर इंटरनेशनली आप सुन रहे हो, तो उन्होंने ये अनाउंस किया है अभी। उनका मैं पिछले दिनों एक वो ट्रेलर भी देख रहा था, उसमें वो बता रहे थे कि हम जो है ना, वो मदर नेचर इनवाइट होती है उनकी मीटिंग में, और वो आकर कहती है, ये कहते हैं हमने अपना कार्बन फुटप्रिंट इतना रिड्यूस कर दिया, और बाई 2030 हम लोग जो है वो सारा आईफोन जो है, या जितने भी एप्पल के प्रोडक्ट्स हैं, वो रिसाइकल्ड मटेरियल से बना रहे होंगे। अच्छा, सर्कुलर
Hmm.
इकोनॉमी वो डिजाइन से शुरू होती है, क्योंकि हमने अभी जितनी भी चीजें बनाई हैं, वो उनको डिसअसेंबल करना भी एक प्रॉब्लम है। मसलन मेरा जो अभी का जो फोन है, इसको मतलब रिसाइकल करना तो एक तरफ रह गया, इसको डिसअसेंबल करना भी प्रॉब्लमेटिक है। तो अब जो वो लोग बना रहे हैं, फोन बना रहे हैं या प्रोडक्ट्स डिजाइन कर रहे हैं, उनमें वो ये एलिमेंट रख रहे हैं कि इसको डिसअसेंबल करना आसान हो। अच्छा, जब डिसअसेंबल करना आसान होगा तो फिर इसकी सेग्रीगेशन भी आसान हो जाएगी। कि फर्ज करें एक
हम्म,
ट्रांजिस्टर या एक जो इसका एलिमेंट है, एक छोटा सा आईसी है या कोई और चीज है, तो वो किसी इसी तरह के किसी सिमिलर प्रोडक्ट में या किसी दूसरे प्रोडक्ट में जो इससे इंफीरियर होगी परफॉर्मेंस वाइज और उसकी जो यूजेज होंगे उस वाइज, तो उसमें मसलन फोन की चीजें बहुत आराम से माइक्रोवेव में लग सकती हैं, वॉशिंग मशीन में जो प्रोग्रामेबल वॉशिंग मशीन्स हैं या माइक्रोवेव्स हैं या रेफ्रिजरेटर्स हैं, तो उनमें लग सकती हैं। तो अब ये अच्छा, एक और चीज जिसका हम इंतजार कर रहे हैं और जो लोग बड़ी शिद्दत से, वो है इंटरनेट ऑफ थिंग्स। अब होना ये जा रहा है कि हम लोग जो है सस्टेनेबिलिटी इस तरह से क्रिएट करेंगे कि हम चीजों की वेस्टेज को कंट्रोल करें। मसलन मैंने जो है वो ओवन में कोई चीज रखी है गर्म होने के लिए और मैं आके टीवी पे मैच देखने लग गया हूँ और मैं भूल गया कि मैं ओवन जो है ना वो चलता हुआ छोड़ कर आया हूँ। तो दे आर वर्किंग ऑन दिस कि ओवन जो है वो टीवी के साथ कम्युनिकेट करे और वहां मैसेज दे, भाईजान आपने जो दूध रखा था, आपने जो बिरयानी गर्म होने के लिए रखी थी, वो गर्म हो गई है, बिजली जाया हो रही है, आके इसको निकालो और खा लो। तो अब चीजें, यानी ये चीजें, हम बहुत सारी चीजें अभी होनी बाकी हैं, लेकिन वो सारी इसी तरफ जा रही हैं और इसी पे प्रोडक्ट जो है सस्टेनेबिलिटी आएगी। अच्छा, अल्टीमेटली जो है ना वो सब ने इसका हिस्सा बनना है, जो नहीं बनेगा वो रह जाएगा इस दौर से। क्योंकि जिस तरह आईएसओ नया नया आया था, अगर किसी को इसकी हिस्ट्री पता हो तो यूरोप ने जो है ना वो हमारे ऊपर खास तौर पर पाकिस्तान, इंडिया और बांग्लादेश पर ये पाबंदी लगाई थी कि आपने 14,001 सर्टिफाई करना है, आपने जो है 9,001 सर्टिफाई करना है। क्योंकि उस वक्त जो बेसिक वो था कि हम लोग चाइल्ड लेबर भी करवा रहे थे और ये सारा।
हम्म,
तो अब उन्होंने फिर अपने थर्ड पार्टी जो है वो ऑडिटर भी बिठा दिया था हमारे पास कि यार आप वाकई वो कर भी रहे हैं या नहीं। तो अब जो है ना वो ये सस्टेनेबिलिटी भी हमारे ऊपर इसी तरह, हमारे ऊपर क्या सबके ऊपर आएगी। अच्छा, मिस आयशा का मुझे नहीं मालूम है, आप अगर आपको मिस आयशा पता हो, ये यूरोप में जो है ना वो किसान जो है वो हड़तालें कर रहे हैं, एहतजाज कर रहे हैं। गवर्नमेंट ने जो है सर्टेन पेस्टिसाइड्स जो है ना वो मतलब बैन कर दिए। अब उनकी जो फार्मिंग की कॉस्ट है वो मतलब बढ़ गई है।
बढ़ गई है।
एक चीज पढ़ाई है, अभी आपने स्लाइड में बताया भी है कि जाहिर है जब आप रिसर्च करेंगे, जब आप,
हम्म,
और ये जो आपने अपवर्क वाला जो है ना वो चार्ट दिखाया, मैं मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है अगर आप इसको थोड़ा एक्सप्लेन भी करती कि शुरू में जब आप सस्टेनेबिलिटी की तरफ जाएंगे तो आपका नुकसान ज्यादा होगा, आपका बेनिफिट कम होगा, लेकिन अल्टीमेटली ये एक दिस वुड जनरेट, इफ यू काइंडली गो ऑन दैट स्लाइड जहां पर आपने अपवर्क वाला जो है ना वो रखा हुआ है, तो वो किसानों के साथ अब वही कुछ हो रहा है यूरोप में कि इनको जो है ना वो पेस्टिसाइड्स बैन कर दिए हैं और उन्होंने कहा कि यार हमारी तो कॉस्ट इतनी बढ़ गई है कि अब हम इसको ये देखें आप सस्टेन ही नहीं कर पा रहे। तो ये शुरू में हो रहा है, लेकिन दे आर अनअवेयर और दे कैन नॉट सी और दे कैन नॉट सस्टेन कि वो उस कॉस्ट को बेयर करें कि अल्टीमेटली आगे जाके जो है ना इन प्रैक्टिसेस से जो है वो ये आएगा कि ये बिल्कुल जो है इनको फायदा हुआ करेगा। अच्छा, इस पे भी जो है ना एक रिसर्च में पढ़ रहा था, आपके जो वेस्ट है, किचन वेस्ट जो है, दैट कैन मेक वेरी गुड फर्टिलाइजर। आपके होटल्स में से जो आपका वेस्ट निकल रहा है, आपकी इवन आप जो चावल का जो वो निकलता है वो यू कैन मेक वेरी गुड कंपोस्ट आउट ऑफ दैट छिलका। वो जो इसका चावल को आप जब छानते हैं तो उसमें छिलका जो निकलता है, पाकिस्तान में उसको जला देते हैं, इंडिया में इवन उस पे जो है ना उससे गत्ते बना रहे हैं, पैकेजिंग मटेरियल्स बना रहे हैं उससे। हमारे यहाँ गन्ने का जो वो निकलता है रस निकालने के बाद जब हम इसकी मोलेसिस इसमें से निकाल लेते हैं
हम्म,
तो उसको जला देते हैं, और लेकिन ये है कि वो दैट कुड बी यूज्ड इन वेरियस थिंग्स, लेकिन अगेन अब इस पे टाइम लगेगा शायद।
जी
तो
जी
वी आर
सर,
वेटिंग
जैसे
फॉर।
आप, जी जी, जी जी सर,
तो ये है, तो ये सर्कुलर इकोनॉमी है, यही
जी,
सस्टेनेबिलिटी है और यही हमारा
एग्जैक्टली।
रिजल्ट है। अच्छा, हमारा अलमिया बीइंग पाकिस्तानी, अच्छा, हम लोगों को, मेरे जो साथी हैं, मुझे नहीं मालूम है कहाँ बैठे हुए हैं और किस उस लेवल पे हैं, मैं एक और जगह डिस्कस कर रहा था तो किसी ने कहा कि यार इसका फायदा तो कुछ भी नहीं होगा ही नहीं। दुनिया में ये सब कुछ हो रहा है और पाकिस्तान को भी करना पड़ेगा, और जितनी जल्दी कर लेगा उसमें फायदा होगा, जितनी दूर जितना बाद में आएगा वो फिर वही होगा कि हम बमुश्किल हम वो पहुंच रहे होंगे, दुनिया 30 साल आगे जा चुकी होगी और हम उस वक्त जो है ना जूते पहन रहे होंगे।
सर सही है सर। मैं बीच में आपका जो पॉइंट था पाकिस्तान वाला सैंक्शंस वाला, सर इसमें एक ऐड करना चाहूँगी। देयर इज दिस प्रोफेसर ऑफ माइन, उन्होंने ये चीज़ हमें बताई। हम लोग रिसर्च करते हैं यूनिवर्सिटीज़ में ना, फॉर एग्जांपल इन्वायरमेंट से रिलेटेड एमफिल प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं, पीएचडी प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं, और वो लोग ढूंढते हैं कि फॉर एग्जांपल इन रावलपिंडी देयर इज नाला लई, राइट? तो नाला लई पे सब लोग कचरा फेंक रहे हैं। तो अब उस पे एनालिसिस किया, फॉर एग्जांपल एक किसी का थीसिस है, उस पे उसने किया कि कितने नाइट्रेट्स, कितने सल्फेट्स, किस तरह की इसके अंदर पेस्टिसाइड्स डली गई हैं या प्लास्टिक वेस्ट एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा। अच्छा, अब ये हम लोगों की स्टडीज भी हम इसमें क्या कहते हैं सैंक्शंस कराने में बहुत ज़्यादा हाथ देती है, क्योंकि हमारे यहाँ कहा जाता है कि यूनिवर्सिटीज़ में ये कहा जाता है कि आपने पॉजिटिव रिजल्ट्स लाने हैं, और पॉजिटिव रिजल्ट्स इन्वायरमेंट की फील्ड में क्या है कि अगर आप किसी की वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट चेक करें, वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट सॉरी वेस्ट चेक करें कि फलां वाटर बॉडी में ये चीज़ की कंटामिनेशन हुई हुई है, तो आपको रिजल्ट्स लाने हैं। ये दैट वुड बी द पॉजिटिव रिजल्ट, कि अगर आप किसी एक पानी में देख रहे हैं कि आर्सेनिक पाया जाता है और आपको आर्सेनिक नहीं मिला, तो आप ये आपकी मतलब कुछ टीचर्स इस तरह के हैं कि वो आपको वो इंसिस्ट करते हैं कि इसमें तो पानी था ही नहीं, योर रिसर्च इज अ फेलियर। तो
अच्छा, मैं
स्टूडेंट्स जो
आपको
हैं वो ट्रेंड
हाँ,
करने
आपकी
के लिए।
बात मैं समझ गया। मैं
जी।
गया था वाह यूनिवर्सिटी, वाह इंजीनियरिंग यूनिवर्सिटी। तो हमारा उनके साथ जो था सबसे बड़ा वो ये था कि बच्चों को जो है ना, ये लोग रियलिस्टिक, यार अल्लाह का वास्ता है निकल आए। होना ये चाहिए कि किसी आप इंडस्ट्री में जाएं, अब आपके
हम्म।
बगल में वो हतार वाले हैं, वहां चले जाएं, वो लोग क्या बना रहे हैं उस हिसाब से बच्चों को पढ़ाएं। लेकिन नहीं, इन्होंने जो है ना वो बच्चों को वही 1919 वाली जो है ना 50 साल पुराना कोर्स पढ़ाना है, जिसका प्रैक्टिकल जिंदगी में कोई यूजेज नहीं है। तो हमारा उनसे यही प्ली थी कि यार आप जो है मेहरबानी करके ऐसी चीज लेकर आए जो इंडस्ट्री में चल रही हो। आखिरी
हम्म।
साल बच्चे को पढ़ाए नहीं, उसको इंडस्ट्री में भेजें, जाओ जाकर देखो तुम क्या वैल्यू एडिशन कर सकते हो।
सही
तो हम लोगों
कोलैबोरेशन
ने
यहाँ पे नहीं है।
यहाँ डॉक्टरेट के लेवल तक भी वो कुछ चीजें, आई एम सॉरी, लेकिन ये है कि वो बिल्कुल ऐसी हैं कि वो सिर्फ अपने नाम के साथ डॉक्टर लगाने के लिए या पीएचडी कहलाने के लिए जो है ना वो
ऐसे
लोग
ही है।
कर रहे हैं। वो वैल्यू एडिशन के लिए कोई भी काम नहीं कर रहा
यस
हमारे
सर।
यहाँ। I'm
सो
sorry।
वही उल्टा करते करते मुल्क को नुकसान वो इस तरह से हो गया। अगर आर्सेनिक का फॉर एग्जांपल उस बच्चे को नहीं मिला उस सैंपल, उसने अपने ग्राफ्स का ट्रेंड करने के लिए खुद से बीच में मतलब अक्सर लोग फेक डेटा डाल देते हैं, और फेक डेटा डाला, अब वो पब्लिश हुआ। पब्लिश होने से यूं हुआ कि इंटरनेशनल कम्युनिटी ने वो पेपर पढ़ा। अब इंटरनेशनल कम्युनिटी ऑब्वियसली, फॉर एग्जांपल हम लोगों के मैंगोज बहुत ज़्यादा फेमस हैं ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड। अब इंटरनेशनल कम्युनिटी ने जब वो पढ़ा, तो उन्होंने ये देखा कि ये जो आर्सेनिक वाला पानी इस बच्चे ने लिखा है कि आर्सेनिक था इस पानी में, इतनी ज़्यादा उसकी क्वांटिटी ज़्यादा थी, तो विच इज़ डेंजरस, हार्मफुल फॉर द हेल्थ। और उसी पानी से इरिगेट हो रहा है कौन सा, जो साथ में आम का बाग था। तो हम लोग वही आम खरीदें तो हम लोग बीमार होंगे, तो वो कम हो गई। इस तरह से हम लोग की भी रिसर्च बजाय फायदा देने की, कई लोग हमारे पाकिस्तान में इस तरह की रिसर्चेज हो रही हैं कि वो ओवरऑल कंट्री को नुकसान कर रही हैं।
बिल्कुल
सेकंड
सही।
कॉन्सेप्ट। जी। सेकंड सर, आपने जिस तरह से बताया था रिसाइकलिंग का। रिसाइकलिंग का सर, गंदम का जितना मेरा नॉलेज है, सॉरी गंदम नहीं, गन्ना। गन्ना का जितना मेरा नॉलेज है, जो बगास प्रोड्यूस हो रहा है वो साथ वाली इंडस्ट्रीज को वो लोग सेल कर रहे हैं, और वो सेल करके वो एज अ सोर्स ऑफ एनर्जी यूज कर रही हैं जो आसपास करीब की हैं। मतलब करने वाले लोग पाकिस्तान में रिसाइकलिंग और हमारी सर्कुलर इकोनॉमी की तरफ ट्राई कर रहे हैं, बट जो नहीं करने वाले वो नहीं कर रहे। For example, textile mills, there is example of textile mills. We are producing dyes, जो हम dyes use कर रहे हैं, they're very harmful, everyone is aware of that. उसका तोड़ के लिए अब आई हैं ऑर्गेनिक डाइज आई हैं that are degradable for the environment, but again they are very very costly. सो इन पाकिस्तानी टेक्सटाइल इंडस्ट्रीज वो हम लोग उसको इनकॉर्पोरेट अपनी इंडस्ट्री में नहीं कर सकते। सो इस किस्म के है मसले मसाइल इन डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज। वी शुड ट्राई, बट इट वुड टेक टाइम ऑब्वियसली, बट इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि इसका कोई फ़ायदा नहीं है। फ़ायदा हमें नहीं है, बट हमारी फ्यूचर जनरेशन को ज़रूर फ़ायदा होगा।
बिल्कुल सही कह रही हैं आप, बिल्कुल सही कह रही हैं। असल में गन्ने का जो वेस्ट है, आई डोंट नो, अब मेरे साथी बोर ना हो रहे हो, होता ये है कि गन्ने का वेस्ट जो है ना, इट्स मोर हार्मफुल देन यूजफुल अगर आप उसको जला रहे हैं।
हाँ
मैं
हाँ,
आई वुड, यानी आप उसको दूसरे पैकेजिंग के लिए, कागज बनाने के लिए, गत्ता बनाने के
एग्जैक्टली,
लिए,
यूज करें।
कंपोस्ट बनाने के लिए इवन आप इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं। और उसके बजाय अगर हम रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी पे चले जाएं, गन्ने के अगेंस्ट सोलर पे या विंड पे, तो वो ज्यादा मेरे ख्याल में वो रहेगा।
बेहतर है।
अच्छा, मैं पानी के हवाले से, हमारे एक साइंसदान है पानी के, वो जफर भुट्टो है, बड़े मशहूर है, फेसबुक पर भी है। मैं वो रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा सब लोग उनको फॉलो करें, बहुत मजे की रिसर्च करते हैं पानी के हवाले से। हम लोग पानी के हवाले से बहुत बुरे हालात में हैं। और ये तो खैर फैक्ट भी है कि आने वाली जंगें जो है ना, पानी जो ये जो ड्रिंकेबल या पोर्टेबल वाटर है, ये बड़ा लिमिटेड है। तो और
हम्म,
वो भी हर साल नीचे से नीचे जा रहा है, तो हम उसकी भी जो है
एग्जैक्टली।
ना वो नहीं कर रहे, दोबारा से रिप्लेनिश नहीं कर रहे जो अंडर ग्राउंड वाटर है उसको। तो हम लोग वहां पे भी बहुत मार खाने वाले हैं।
एग्जैक्टली सर, मैं पाकिस्तान की एग्जांपल लूँगी। जितनी अर्बनाइजेशन हो रही है उसकी वजह से, अब तो खैर हमारा वेदर पैटर्न क्लाइमेट चेंज की वजह से चेंज हो चुका है, बट द मेन रीज़न द वाटर टेबल दोबारा से ऊपर नहीं आ रहे, क्योंकि हम लोगों ने जो अर्बनाइजेशन की है, हमने रोड्स की हैं, हम जो सीमेंट की बिल्डिंग्स बनाई हैं, उसकी वजह से वाटर जो है वो पेनिट्रेट नहीं कर पा रहा। वाटर
बिल्कुल।
पेनिट्रेशन की वजह से वो ये हो रहा है कि नहीं कर पा रहा, तो वो पानी सारा का सारा वॉश ऑफ हो रहा है। वॉश ऑफ होके कहाँ जा रहा है? हमारे समंदरों में जा रहा है। मतलब उसका कोई फायदा नहीं है। डैम्स भी अगर हम लोग लें, लाइक आई अर्लियर सेड, एवरी एस्पेक्ट हम कुछ भी करते हैं उसका इकोलॉजिकल इम्पैक्ट है। फॉर एग्जांपल हम लोग कहते हैं डैम्स बनाए, डैम्स ऑब्वियसली बनाने चाहिए, उसका फायदा भी है, बट उसके बैकड्रॉज भी हैं। वो मेरा ख्याल है वो फिर लंबी डिबेट हो जाएगी किसी और दिन की। वो उसके बैकड्रॉज भी हैं ऑन इकोलॉजी, ऑन अर्थ। anyone else likes to add something to our debate, to our discussion?
नहीं, मेरे ख्याल से कुछ अगली क्लास के लिए भी छोड़ देते हैं।
All right, okay. Okay, what we learned today actually were three pillars of sustainability and product sustainability. What is it and how you can implement it? Basically, sustainability and the product sustainable management is a holistic approach to manage an organization's goals through end-to-end operations. Lastly, मैं ये कहूँगी कि डोंट थिंक कि हम लोग का जो सस्टेनेबिलिटी की तरफ का लर्निंग है और जो हमारे एक्शंस हैं, दे वुड नॉट बियर एनी फ्रूट। दे वुड नॉट फॉर अस, मे बी नॉट फॉर अस, बट फॉर फ्यूचर जनरेशन इट इज़ इम्पॉर्टेंट कि हम लोग अभी से ही सस्टेनेबल प्रैक्टिसेस की तरफ एट इंडिविजुअल, नॉट ओनली एट ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल लेवल, एट एन इंडिविजुअल लेवल भी हम लोग इसको इनकॉर्पोरेट करें अपनी लाइफ्स में। अगर आप लोगों ने कोई क्वेश्चन पूछना है तो feel free to ask me. Otherwise, it was actually end of the sessions. I have added, ये मैं share कर दूंगी, I have added the resources जो मैंने ये lecture prepare करने में use किए हैं, the papers and some websites. तो I will share it in the group ताकि आप लोग भी अगर interested हो तो आप लोग ये पढ़ लें।
बिल्कुल, हम इंटरेस्टेड होते हैं, और बहुत शुक्रिया आपने कह दिया, वरना मैं यही रिक्वेस्ट करने वाला था कि ये स्लाइड्स कम से कम शेयर कर दीजिएगा। लिखने से जान छूट जाती है, पॉइंटर्स अवेलेबल रहते हैं हर वक्त।
All right, all right, all right.
बहुत शुक्रिया आपका।
Okay. Uh, Thank you for attending today's session. It was fun and I loved debate and discussion. Discussion based में होता है कि सब अपना अपना input देते हैं और information में इजाफा होता है, आप लोगों की भी और मेरी भी। Thank you so much. अल्लाह हाफिज।
थैंक यू, अल्लाह हाफिज।
अल्लाह हाफिज।